What's up, guys? Simone Fan 101 here, and this is my review of No Mercy. No Mercy. I'm sorry. I like that song. I apologize. But, No Mercy. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view. There are some negatives, I will get to that, but I thought this was a pretty good pay-per-view. The show started out with the WWE Championship match. Now, the reason why the WWE title opened up the show is because of the whole Clinton-Trump debate, and WWE figured, okay, they got a leg up on us on the Trump debate, on the debate between Trump and Clinton. Therefore, back to the Clinton. Therefore, WWE thought, okay, if we put the title match in the opener, maybe that'll draw some people in at first, and then they can continue watching the show. Which makes sense. It does make sense, although that does annoy a couple people like Lundrick, that it opened the show. I didn't mind it so long as they did something else, which they did not do, and fuck them on that part. So the opening match was AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against John Cena and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph wishes it was him. John Cena and Dean Ambrose, and Styles is the champion. Overall, this was a great match. I'd say it was definitely better than. It was definitely one of the best title matches this year. Then again, title had a lot of great matches this year, but this is one of the better matches. We had we had a lot of good spots here. Cena, very early in the match, Cena did a double German suplex to Styles and Ambrose, which was a cool visual. A lot of great moves here. There was a point in the match, and I like this part where so Dean Ambrose did a reversal on AJ Styles, and actually got him with AJ's own move, the calf killer, or the calf crusher. Then John Cena wrapped around Styles' other leg, put him in the STF, and Styles tapped. However, of course, you can't have somebody tap out in a triple threat match when two people have the submission, because it's like, okay, who's the champion? So the match was allowed to continue. The match went like a couple more minutes. John Cena hit an attitude adjustment from the top. I believe he hit it from the top rope, actually. It may have been either that, but at one point he hit the attitude adjustment. Then Styles came in with the steel chair, walloped John Cena with it, and then pinned him for the win. This was a pretty great match, and of course, Styles not doing anything really that heelish until the very end, which makes sense, because you want to save the heel shit for AJ Styles at the end of the match. If you do it throughout the match, it's going to ruin it. But this was indeed a great match. There was, for once, earlier in the match, John Cena, he got the SDF on Styles alone, and for once, he actually locked it in properly. I can only recall 2 times where he ever locked it in properly. No Mercy, and SummerSlam 2014 when he wrestled Brock Lesnar, back when John Cena would be champion up until now for the last time. He has not been world champion since, which is really weird to think about. He has not been champion in 2 years. So there's that. Nikki Bella beat Carmella in a nice little match. I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like mediocre as hell. Nikki Bella, I think, has improved as an in-ring performer. As long as she Sorry with that. As long as she doesn't have like a freaking 1,000,000 year reign like she did with the Divas title, I'll be happy. Nikki beat Carmella. It was, like I said, nice little match. I forget how Nikki won. Yeah, I think she just reversed one of Carmella's moves into the TKO, which apparently they're now calling it the Rack Attack 2.0, which I refuse to call it by that name because A, it's too long. B, it's not even a fucking Rack Attack. It's a TKO. Call it what it is. I'm calling it a TKO. After that, we briefly had Shane, Daniel Bryan, The Miz, and Maurice, by reputation, backstage. Miz basically gloating to Daniel Bryan that he's still wrestling, Daniel's not. He's going to go out there and retire Dolph Ziggler, and he wanted to thank Daniel for doing that because he wants to thank Daniel for allowing Miz to retire Dolph Ziggler. So, Miz acting like a prick, as usual. Next, we had Heath, Slater, and Rhyno defending the tag team titles against the Usos. I thought this was actually a pretty decent match, a pretty good match. I liked it. These guys, all of them showed fire. This was honestly Heath Slater's best match, which I know, considering he's the amount of years he's been in WWE, it's like this is his best match. But keep in mind, for the entirety of his career, he's never really been that big of a single star. And when he was a single star, he was losing to WWE legends and getting his ass kicked in 2 minutes. This is the first time in a long time that Heath Slater is ever actually getting time in the ring to wrestle and to perform, which now we can actually see what this guy's capable of. So there is that. Slater and Rhyno, who, by the way, they've nicknamed themselves the Beauty and the Man Beast, which I find is just hilarious. That's something that Heath Slater would totally say. They retained their titles against the Usos. I did not see that coming. I totally thought that the Usos were winning that match. I did not. Not at all did I see the Slater and Rhyno keeping the titles past No Mercy. I did not see that coming at all. Next, we had Baron Corbin and Jack Swagger. I gotta say, I expected this match to be on the pre-show. The pre-show match ended up being a tag team showcase match. It was the Hype Bros and the American Alpha versus the Vaudevillains and the Ascension. Which begs the question, where the hell is Tyler Breeze and Fandango? Where's Fabrice? They've been missing on SmackDown for a while now. Tyler Breeze is the guy that could really benefit from being a single star on SmackDown. Like a good little mid-card run. Whether heel or face, I don't care. But maybe, give him a little good mid-card run. Maybe for him to go for the IC title against Dolph Ziggler, and maybe he'll eventually win it. Maybe at WrestleMania, maybe at the Royal Rumble. Who knows? We'll see. I know I kind of spoiled that, but I'm recording this 2 days after 2 to 3 days after the show came up. I apologize. I've been very busy. So Baron Corbin beat Jack Swagger. It was a mediocre match. It wasn't a bad match. It's just that Baron Corbin still needs to work on his in-ring work. I'm not doubting Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger actually is a pretty good wrestler. Baron Corbin just needs to improve. I think if Jack Swagger was in there with someone like, say, Chad Gable, that would be a kick-ass match I would totally see. Hell, if it was AJ Styles versus Jack Swagger, even though the feud may not be believable, you gotta know, those would be some of Jack Swagger's best matches. Next we had what should have been the main event of the night, which was The Miz defending the Intercontinental Championship against Dolph Ziggler. Okay, 3 points here. 1, this should have been the main event for several reasons. 1, the story was excellent. Both WWE made you believe that Ziggler was going to retire. He even did his best to make you believe, like, okay, past October 9th, or something like that. Here's the person you should contact for the indie bookings, and I'll be on my way out. So it's like they had you believing. They had you believing that Ziggler was gonna lose, even though I kind of figured he wasn't because he's got like a long-term 3 to 4 year contract. But they made you believe as much as possible. The story was great. Ziggler was absolutely great as his role. Miz is absolutely great in his role. Ziggler playing the story that, look, I've been losing all the time. I gotta find a big win. Which is true. Ziggler has been losing all the time. So this story makes perfect sense for him. And the Miz is the perfect heel to go against. They've had several matches before. Some of them good, a couple of them not so good. But they generally have very good matches. But the roles were perfect here. The build up of the Spirit Squad. I mean, all that should have been the main event of the show. If it was not going to be Styles, Cena, and Ambrose, it had to be Ziggler and Miz. Nope. We still have 2 more matches after this one, and I'll get to them in a second. But point number 2. This was by far the best match in both Dolph Ziggler's career and The Miz's career, which is crazy to say, considering the talent they've been in the ring with. I mean, Ziggler's been in the ring with much better talent, than The Miz, like AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, several other guys. John Cena, I'll say, is a better talent than The Miz. The Miz, likewise, has been in the ring with a lot of great in-ring wrestlers, better than Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is great, but he's not as good as some guys like, say, again, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, John Morrison. He had some great. He had a couple really great matches with John Morrison. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, considering the talent they've gone up against, you think they would have better match? No. I think what it was here, that the story, it wasn't just the fact that it was a match. The story was just perfect. The story was, they told a great story above anything else, other than great wrestling and moves and everything, all that crap. The story was great. It was perfect, which is why the match was a lot better than what you would expect. And, it ended up being, and point number 3, this was the match of the night. Yes, Ziggler and The Miz was better than Styles, Cena, and Ambrose. That is just crazy to believe, but it's true. In my opinion, this was by far the match of the night. This was the match of the night. This was one of the best matches WWE had all year, which is freaking nuts considering the other matches that they've had. Styles and Cena twice. The women's triple threat at WrestleMania. Just look at Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Battleground. I mean, they've had a lot of great matches, but Cena. But Ziggler and Miz being in that category, you never ever thought you would actually see it. But it's true. It actually happened. This was a fucking awesome match. Absolutely. Ziggler won. We had interference from the Spirit Squad and Maurice, but that actually added to the match. There's some matches where interference, in my opinion, adds to the match. Another example of this was the IWGP title match that AJ Styles had with Kazuchika Okada last year at Dominion. It was last July. And Styles came in the champion. The Bullet Club, was interfering with Okada. And you're probably thinking like, okay, it's just gonna dull the match down. But then they made up for it. And the reason why it worked was because the referee, while he sent them to the back, American WWE style, he gave them a crotch chop, which made me laugh my ass off. And I'm like, okay, that just added to the match for me. Same thing here. The interference from the Spirit Squad, Maurice, all this was in the vein to try of Mrs. Mission to try to screw over Ziggler one last time, so that way he'll be gone from the WWE forever. That's what the Miz wanted. Ziggler, his mission, to keep his job at all costs. Fairly too. There was a moment where his shoe got undone. And Miz took the shoe off, and Miz ate 2 super kicks, sock first to the face, which was hilarious, which was awesome and hilarious. And Ziggler won the title. Right after Miz and the Spirit Squad, Kenny and Mikey to be specific, the referee sent him back, and then right after that, when Miz ate the super kick and lost the title, it was the best match in both men's careers. Again, weird considering the talent and the matches they've been in previously. So, with that said, great match. Kudos to Dolph Ziggler. When they started the brand split and when they put him in the WWE title match, I'm like, okay, I'm getting into it, but people are saying, Ziggler, he's just going to be a mid-card for life. Well, this match practically proved that he could be a main eventer. Hell, this was a main event caliber match. That was not the main event. And I'll get to the main event, actually. After this match was, in a sense, the breather match. Now, Becky Lynch was injured previously to this event. Apparently, WWE had known about this for a couple weeks now, that Becky was possibly injured and could not compete at No Mercy. Which stands to reason why she didn't do all that much in the tag team after the previous week. It was a nagging injury, yeah, but they should have let her take some time off before they, aggravated the injury. Nope. So, in a sense, they falsely advertised a match, and we ended up getting somebody else instead, who won against the other person who was in the match. So does that sound familiar? That's because they did the exact same thing the previous month with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. When Randy Orton was falsely advertised after a concussion that was sustained by Brock Lesnar, and Bray Wyatt ended up facing Kane and ended up losing to Kane thanks to interference from Randy Orton. He didn't do anything physical. Same thing happened here. Alexa Bliss, who's the number one contender, cut a promo about how, just cut a promo on Becky Lynch, being the bitchy heel that she is. Naomi came out for the match. Naomi beat Alexa Bliss in 5 minutes. Which it's like, why did these women only get 5 minutes? And Bray Wyatt, and I'll get to Bray Wyatt in a second. And so yeah, it was basically a repeat of the last month all over again. So at least Naomi is someone we care about. Kane, Kane is Kane. We're over Kane at this point. Unless they plan on turning Kane into the next Wyatt family member, for God forbid. Afterwards, we had, speaking of Wyatt, we had Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt in a match. This match went, 15 to 20 minutes? This match bored me to tears. And I think Orton and Bray knew that Ziggler and Miz should have main evented. I get the feeling that Orton and Bray should not have been in the final match, especially since the thing with Ziggler and Miz was that the crowd was so into it that after that the crowd was just exhausted. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton got the Hogan Rock treatment, and the way that Triple H and Chris Jericho did at WrestleMania 18. The crowd could not care too much anymore because they put all their energy into Hogan and Rock. Same thing here. They put all their energy to Miz and Ziggler, and they could not give a damn about the other matches that were left on the card because they came there to see the Triple Threat WWE title and Ziggler and the Miz. After that, the crowd was spent. The crowd was boring. The crowd was dead, pretty much. We got a dead crowd for the most part of this match. Look, and I'm not saying they didn't try. They tried to have like a brawl. Another part of the problem with this match was that the fight, the match wasn't so much of a match. It was like an extended brawl, practically. There wasn't a lot of wrestling moves, which, again, that's the reason why it really bored me with tears. The fact that there wasn't much wrestling. Honestly, it's almost as if they were like half-assing it for the next time they would meet. This doesn't make any sense. The lights went right when Randy Orton was about to hit the RKO on Bray Wyatt. The Bray Wyatt symbol, happened. The lights went out. Then when the lights came back on, Luke Harper, who we thought was running with the Raw crew, actually showed up and attacked Randy Orton. Well, actually, no, he didn't even attack Randy Orton because that would make you believe that Randy Orton won by DQ. No, he just stood there, stared at Randy Orton. Then Bray Wyatt hit Sister Abigail and Randy and got the win. Look, the only positive thing is that Bray Wyatt, for the second time in his career, main evented a pay-per-view. But other than that, he shouldn't have main evented. It should have been Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. Straight up. Which, look, they can be proud because that was the real main event of the night. It wasn't Hogan. It wasn't. It's also a lot like with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. The main event of the show was Triple H and Randy Orton, but Triple H and Randy Orton watching the Undertaker Shawn Michaels match straight up said, "Oh my God, we are fucked." Because they knew they could not possibly match up to Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. There's not a chance in hell. So that was the main problem. The placement of the IC title match pissed me off. I was pissed that wasn't the main event. It was perfect. That would have made the show even better. The fact that it was perfect. Sorry, it's a stupid fly. But other than that, it's still a pretty good show. Better than Clash of Champions. I would love to see Hell in a Cell try to top this show. Until next time, guys, I'll get you back with my Raw review. Until next time, guys, peace. See you later. And hasta la vista, baby.